Hey, this is LGBTQ&a, where we get to know different members of the LGBTQ community. I'm Jeffrey Masters, and I'm here today with Alexandra Grey. Alexandra is an actress from things like Transparent and the upcoming miniseries When We Rise. Stay tuned. Hey, Alexandra.
Hi there.
Hey, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk.
Me too. Thanks for having me here. This is like my first, sit down interview type.
Oh my God. I'll be nice on you.
Be easy.
Maybe.
Don't be bringing up no secrets.
My paper's just filled with secrets. We're going to go one by one.
Okay.
No, you had such a big year last year.
Last year was so amazing. It was such a blessing.
Yeah, it's like one of those classic stories where it look to me, tell me if I'm wrong, where it looks like an overnight success, and I hate that because it kind of discounts in my mind like years of hard work that no one sees.
Right. It's like people almost forget that I've, been in LA for like 5 years really trying to, be an actress and a singer and try to do everything. So last year it all came full circle for me.
Yeah. Did you expect to get so much recognition from Transparent?
No, I guess I felt the significance of the character, from the beginning because they really, made me feel so apart and they brought me on to a lot of their events. So I knew it was an important character, but I didn't think, I saw something about like a breakout star. I'm like, child, breakout star. I don't know about that, but no. It's a cute title.
Yeah. I remember just like watching it with friends, just being like, who is that actress?
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And of course, like for people who didn't see, season 3 kicked off and it was just Mara and you. Like that was the entire storyline.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
It was so exciting, I think. And just to start it off like with a bang, and I think we talk a lot about diversity when it comes to, just trans inclusion, but I think, having that diversity amongst all types of trans people, like a Black trans person, an Asian trans person. So I think that was great that they wanted to start with that.
Yeah, and I remember too, like she's walking through the mall, Mara, and she comes across these like Latina trans women. It was like the entire like race we were seeing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. I think that was Mariana.
Yeah,
she was in an episode.
Yeah, and Haley and Harmony Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's great to see because we have seen Mara's point of view for so long that we are getting these different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing you were a fan of the show beforehand.
I was sort of, I don't really watch a lot of TV. I do now.
So as the TV actress.
I know. I didn't at first, but I did watch the show, and it's a great show. Jeffrey Tambor is like so funny.
Yeah.
But he really channels that Mara so well that it's just so heartwarming. So.
It seems like that office, the Transparent, they get to know trans talent and they try to place you and just get to know people, and they really keep everyone in mind when they're casting. Have you been in a lot for them before?
No. I was just, it's actually how I got asked to do the audition. I was performing at Trans Pride, and they were doing like a background casting call, and I wasn't going to sign up because I was like, girl, Miss Thing. I was like, I've done a lot of background work for years, and I'm like, I kind of want to, be the star for a change. And my friend was like, just take the picture and do it. And so I did, and then they called me like almost a year later and asked me to come and read for this role, or audition.
And they kept your picture for that long?
Yes.
Wow.
I was so happy because you just never know how it works out. So it's like, don't be trying to be a diva all early.
No, you could wait till longer. I didn't know if they like wrote it for you because is Elijah your middle name as well?
Alicia.
Oh, right. It's with an E.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was drawing connections that I was.
You draw and see.
They're unconfirmed.
No.
That never happened.
But I think it really is like a testament because a lot of Eliza was my story, hers is probably a little more glamorous, because I didn't get to be a chance to live my truth at that young age. But a lot of our stories are similar, like being in foster care. And so it was like, wow, it was just perfect that I ended up getting to play that character.
Amazing. Yeah. Were you out when you were in foster care?
No, not really until like the ending part where I got kicked out.
Oh. For being trans?
Well, it started off like I was like, oh, I'm gay, because I'm trying to like dilute the situation. But then it was like, well, child, I really want to be a girl. So,
yeah.
And that just, I don't think that was at the time. I don't think they were ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but in my mind, I imagine it's not like the safest place to come out.
In Chicago? Yeah, I was living in Chicago. I didn't really know anybody that was like me, you know. So in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm sort of a part of this movement that's happening now, because when I was coming up, I don't remember seeing any trans people like in school, in my community. And I lived like in the South suburbs, you know, so it just wasn't something that was, you know, really talked about. Or
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on TV that much then.
No.
Not in good representations.
No, I only knew that I was trans because I saw Isis King on Top Model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in high school and I saw that she was like on there, and I was like, well. I was like, so that was sort of how I.
So, but before that, so you had this, let's just call it like a feeling, but you were not able to like name it?
Right. I knew that I wanted to be a girl, but I just didn't know it was possible. Like, I didn't know that people actually you could transition and become a woman. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I probably would have tried to do it a lot sooner, but, you know, I definitely know that I felt like one.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's like a really like I don't want to say a typical story, but like that's an easy story to come out as gay and then to be like, oh, like JK,
right.
LOL. But you know, just like the root, not saying, yeah, just it's especially like foster. Like I just imagine like there's like a safety issue.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like that.
Really?
You know, I just think it was something new, and I always understand that this is new for people. And it's like, I don't need you to fully, you know, understand it, but, you know, just respect, just still love me. You know what I mean? I think that's what anybody is saying to their family, is that, you know, this is what I want to do, but, you know, you don't have to support it necessarily, but at least love me.
Yeah.
You know, and be there for me, you know, so.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes I forget, too, that we live in LA and things are different here than the rest of America.
Yeah, I think that... Like, child, if you want to come out, honey, you need to move here first. I just think it's more of an open environment, and I think we're a little bit more educated about it here. It's like, if you're in the Midwest, like, you watch TV, but you don't think about what goes on behind the TV, you know, what goes into castings and auditions. You don't think about that stuff because it's a whole different world. So I think it's the same sort of thing. It's like when you're in the Midwest and you don't see things like this or people like this, it's like, well.
Yeah. And I think I read a stat the other week that said that America, about only 16% of them knows a trans person or knows that they know a trans person.
Right.
And that number just like kind of blew me away. But it also goes to show like why it's so important, these depictions of trans people on TV.
Absolutely. I think it can really like open up hearts and minds. And so like, it's like when Caitlyn Jenner came out, I wasn't upset, you know, I think everyone was so like, oh my gosh, you know, and I think that it's like, you have to really look and think about what she could do just by coming out, you know, for people who are older or people who followed her career as Bruce Jenner, this great American athlete. It's like, that could open up doors and windows, you know, and being Glamour Woman of the Year. It's like, I maybe want to be Glamour Woman of the Year. Like, you know, let her have that and open up the door for somebody that might be your T. So,
yeah. And yes, she's a Republican, and yes, her story is not the typical narrative, but it's a great example of like how the trans community is not like a monolith.
Right. I think it would be, people look down harder on like us because this is new, right? It's like, just with regular people, they're like, oh, you're a Republican? Okay, fine, that's cool. But it's like this and that. It's like, because it's like someone like us, I can't go be a reality star without people saying, oh my gosh, you're the stereotypical. Whereas there are millions of reality stars, but people don't say anything. They praise them, but they condemn us because this is new. It's like, oh, you have to be the advocate when you come out. You have to be this. It's like, people have the right to just live their lives however they want, and we're all going to disagree. So, yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. So that was in Chicago you grew up?
Yes.
When did you move to LA?
I moved to LA in 2011, like in October.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Wow. Oh my God. And did you come here like, did you remember like school? Like, did you come here like for like the center specifically? Like,
no, I was sort of homeless in Chicago, and it was sort of getting cold in Chicago, and so someone had said to me, well, why don't you go to LA and just be an actor? You want to be famous, right? And I'm like, well, sure. So I did. I just took my last little $87 and bought a one-way ticket, and the first place I came to was the LGBT Center.
Wow.
And that was, I had emailed someone there before I left to Chicago, and they said, well, we'll have a bed for you when you get here. So that was my first night in LA.
Oh my God. And the movie version of this, like you board the bus and it's a pristine, clean bus and there's like open arms saying like, join us.
No one like that at all.
Yeah, I imagine that. The LGBT Center, it kills me because it's LGBT youth, right. And it kills me because it's 12 to 24, and I just think like 12-year-olds, like they have to write that.
Yeah. I always say that like we all have different things that we go through with life. I don't ever need anybody to feel sorry for me, because it's like I know someone out there is going through something worse, and there are 12, 13-year-olds who their parents don't accept them, and so they're homeless, so they come to places like the center, and I'm just glad they're there to really kind of be a support, and just, it's sad.
Yeah, it's amazing too that you were able to like set that up beforehand.
I know. I'm a very smart person. Well, there was a few times that I was on the street, like I had to sleep on the street because I was like trying to do background work, and so there were times where I couldn't secure my bed. It was like a daily thing. You had to check in. And there were some times where I remember, like, I was on set, like, the second night that I got here. I had got cast to do, like, background on this movie. I know. I was like, God, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And so I was trying to do that. Mind you, it was not paid. And I was just really like, this is the dream. And so there were times where I didn't get to have my bed, so I was on the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's a daily thing. Like for to get the beds.
When I first got, I don't know if it's changed, but when I first got there, that was sort of what it was. You had to check in at one center and you had to walk to the other center and check in. And if you didn't, it was just, whew.
Do you mind?
No.
Okay, thanks. Was there? I'm wondering is there like, I know this is a weird question, but like, was there like a community there among the people staying there, or was it like very just like each person out for themselves?
You know what? I was in the emergency overnight program, which they let me stay for 3 months until I found like actual shelter, a program to go to, a TLP. And it was sort of everyone was for themselves in that emergency overnight program, because, we all shared one large room, and all the residents, the people who actually get into the program at the time, I'm not saying they made us feel divided, but it was like, you knew that your rules were different. You had to get up at like 6 a.m. and you had to be out, and you couldn't like use their bathrooms. You had to go to the other center. So it was like, yeah, pretty much just for yourself. Like it's a great place, and I'm sure it's like other shelters for you to go and like get yourself together and get on your feet. So they were really big support with that.
And so there is the program there, and then there's also the emergency shelter. Those are separate?
Well, this was 5 years ago, so I don't know what it's like now, but that's what it was like when I got there.
Oh, wow. And then what was the TLP?
The TLP, I was in LAYN, Los Angeles Youth Network. Yeah. So I lived there until I was able to get a job and, get on my feet and get my own place and get my own car.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't... Yeah.
I feel like I've always been, like you said, like I set it up before I got here. It's like I always try to be proactive and, really make everything happen for myself so I'm safe, so that's sort of what I did. I knew that I had to get to business, get a job, and I had to get on my feet because I had a purpose.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That doesn't always happen like that.
Right.
Too.
No.
It's very fortunate.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you were on set the second day you got here.
Mm-hmm. The same night I got the email, because I had been submitting. I was submitting to like stuff on Craigslist, and the movie was called I Do, with Alicia Witt and like Glenn Gaylord. So yeah, and they actually selected 3 of us extras out of like 25 to audition for like a small speaking role as like the hostess. I didn't get it, but
and for everybody listening, that's not abnormal, the Craigslist casting.
Well, you know what? It's definitely changed. I feel like it used to be a little bit more legit back in the day, but now I feel like most people are moving away from it because it's like,
Absolutely. It still happens out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not, I feel like it's a stereotype. Middle America Craigslist, it's like bizarre.
Right.
And they're like, it's nothing trustworthy. In LA, it's like, oh my God, a legitimate job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I found a lot of the work that I found was on Craigslist. So, hey, always be proactive when you're trying to do this. I mean, there's no roadmap to like trying to be a successful entertainer or an actor. It's like, child, just get up and go out there and do everything you can to try to, you never know where an opportunity will be or a door will open up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be from Craigslist, but don't go on there now.
Go on after the interview.
Right.
When did you get representation during this?
Last year actually. It was after I got the Transparent gig.
Oh.
Then I had reached out to one of my friends, Danny Costa or something. I'm sorry, I don't remember his last name. But I texted him, I'm like, can you please text some of your contacts? I'm like, damn it, I need an agent.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't think it's, and I was like, just send him this picture. And the first person he sent it to was my agent at Media Artist Group. And, we fell in love. And ever since we've been making magic.
And this is post Transparent.
Right.
Oh, amazing.
Well, it was sort of during, and then
Okay.
I was like, so I wanted to bring him on. I was like, here, I have this gig. You're going to be my agent. You're going to represent me. Well, he wanted to work with me too. So
yeah,
it was just like a collaborative thing. And
yeah, you're a hustler.
Oh my God. Yeah, I am.
That's a compliment.
Well, yeah, I
the hustle. Yeah.
I've definitely learned it's about who you know, a lot of it. And I'm not saying that should be what you're after, but definitely go out and network with people and try to make connections because, it will help you.
Yeah.
Well, it'll go a long way, I think.
Yeah. You're a recurring theme on the podcast, which I think is for everybody too. Like, not just people I interview, but it's just that, you're so many people see on TV, you're on red carpets, and you just kind of have no idea, like, what people have gone through and or are going through.
Right.
Like, it'd be easy to assume, like, this perfect life. Like, she's on the red carpet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, I'm very happy, and like you said, last year was so amazing. But some people don't even know that I've been on like primetime TV, like on like 6 different network shows. Because partly because I'm not a series regular, but it because people don't really know who I am. It's like I don't have that large of a following, and I'm constantly looking for work. I mean, that's every actor. The business is up and down. So, yeah.
I mean, you said you don't have a large following, but I think that's like completely normal for like where you are now.
Right. Well, yeah. I just thought maybe when some of the shows came out, I thought more people would be like, gravitate towards me because that's sort of what I want. I want trans people to see me, like especially young trans people. To see me and to really feel like, oh my gosh, maybe I can do this too, or you came through this. And there's a lot of them who do, but I think once these other projects come out, they're a little bit larger. So.
Yeah. And the new miniseries is coming out, When We Rise.
Yes.
I think it's in February. But is that a real character you're playing? A real person? Oh, really?
It's a real life character. I didn't get to meet her. Her name is Seville. But I did learn a lot about her and to get ready for that role because it's a very deep role.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she went through a lot in her life, and she's really a large part of the trans movement, and that's sort of what the series is about, just the whole LGBT civil rights movement. So.
What are some of the things that Seville's done? Are you able to say?
No, I can't say, but when you guys watch it, it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's like gonna air over like 4 nights, so everyone can see it all at once.
Yeah, and I think it's based on Cleve Jones's book When We Rise with the same name.
Yeah.
He was one of like Harvey Milk's cohorts, and is Harvey Milk in the series a character?
I'm not sure.
I'm asking questions you can't answer.
Well, no, I'm in part 6 and 7. Those are the parts that Justin Lance Black directed.
Gotcha.
And so, there's 7 parts, and so I'm in part 6 and 7 of the series. So it's like, I think it's like a decade series. So it goes in time, and so I'm like part of the later.
Amazing. Well, tell me this: who did you work with? Because there's amazing actors in that show.
Yeah, Phylicia Rashad, Michael Kenneth Williams, who is amazing, and yeah, there were a few people on that set. I didn't know Phylicia Rashad was going to be there. I think I saw her name on the call sheet at the hotel. I'm like, maybe this is a mistake. And then I saw, like, they on the call sheets, they have the numbers of, whoever's going to be there on set. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in scenes with her. I didn't realize it.
Oh,
and so she was very sweet to me. And she went into the makeup trailer, and she was so sweet. And then we ended up getting in the same car together, and we just talked. And I don't think she thinks she knew I was trans, because she's like, "You've got a pretty serious character here." I was like, "Yeah, well, I have experience." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Girl, I used to be a man." I'm like, and she didn't know. She was like, "Oh my gosh, you're very pretty." I'm like, "Thank you." And she's so sweet.
Maybe she was like wording it like that because she didn't want to come out and be like, "Hi, are you transgender?" Like there's not like
right.
Weird to ask somebody that.
Right. Oh, you saying that she clocked me?
No, I'm saying.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, not at all. I'm saying like maybe she was like saying like it's a hard character like leading you to that conversation.
Right. Yeah, maybe that's very possible. But I think so many times people are used to Hollywood casting non-trans actors that I could have just been a guy dressed up as a woman, because the character is really like, it doesn't look like me at all. Like, really? You'll see it's a huge transformation. I almost didn't get the role because I was apparently too pretty. They kept saying, "Oh, you look so pretty." They kept saying I was like way too pretty. Even on set, it was like, oh my gosh, like we had to stop production to like, and yeah. So, yeah.
Isn't that so funny that you're having conversations and you're like, we're talking about my face?
Right. But I was like, oh my gosh, I was just so worried that, I really wanted to show them I can do this. I think my acting was fine, but I think that image-wise, they just were really trying to sell that this woman she went through so much, and especially at that part of her life, and so we really need to get that, but we got it together. Hair and makeup came through, wardrobe came through, and
you're like, hold my eyelashes.
Yes, so hold these. Yeah, I didn't have on none of that. No makeup.
I mean, you like you're not visibly trans, and I only say that because I wonder if you have to think about it more because you're like auditioning for non-trans roles.
Well, I've just started. Well, I haven't really been going out for non-trans roles yet. We have a new team that this year I have new management, and we're really trying to do that because I think that's next for me. It's not that I don't want to play any more trans roles. I love being able to tell that story, but I definitely want to challenge myself to really play a cisgender woman.
Yeah. Your other roles in like Doubt and Code Black, are those all trans characters?
Those are trans characters.
Oh,
really intense trans characters.
Oh, really?
But like, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're thankful for the work.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I don't want to like put those words in your mouth. But the whole discussion about trans people playing trans characters, the opposite of that is that trans people can also play non-trans roles.
Right. Yeah, I think, yeah, that is the next step, and I think it's just up to like Hollywood, the casting directors, the producers, the writers, to really not see gender or to just be like, let's do this. And they really have the opportunity to make history.
Yeah.
They made Laverne Cox like the first trans series regular. And
I love that that's not a transitioning narrative.
Right. Yeah.
Oftentimes we can rely on that.
It's a positive storyline, and even Lee Daniels with like Amaya Scott on Star, it's like they're really taking the chance, especially on trans women of color, because I think that with all the killings going around, I think it's time that we see ourselves represented on TV as well.
Absolutely.
So
going off that, do you feel like more at risk, that you are more visible as a trans person?
I was scared.
Oh,
I
really?
had to talk to my agent because I was like, I got at the airport. Like, it's weird. Sometimes I get recognized. It's like, wow, thank you, God. I appreciate it. But yeah, I was at like a restaurant. My mentor picked me up from the airport, and we went to this little breakfast spot down by Crenshaw. Well, I had to say Crenshaw. And this woman is just staring, and she comes up to me, her and her boyfriend. They were African American. And she's like, oh my gosh, we saw you on Chicago Med. There's always that show that people recognize me. And
I've never heard of that show.
Don't be.
That's the one they say the whole time?
Yeah, Chicago
Oh,
Med.
that's so funny. Sorry, I interrupted you, though.
You are so funny. Yeah, but they recognized it, and I was like, oh my gosh. The first thing I could think about was they know that I'm trans. And so, but I don't care. Like, obviously, like, because like I said, I have a purpose, that I want to do. So I don't think about necessarily the risk, but I do let people know that as a Black trans woman, I could walk out of wherever I am and I could be murdered, because that's just what's going on in the world. And so I think that people really need to start seeing us and representing all aspects of media so that they can maybe ease up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You mentioned your mentor. Who is that?
Well,
you don't just need to say their names. I'm sorry, but like,
I have a few.
Of course.
They're older ladies. But one, Dana Valley, she's a helicopter pilot. She worked in like all the movies. As a trans woman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's really great. And Beth Youngblood, Mara Wells.
How did you meet these women?
I met them. One of them I met through the center, the LGBT Center. She's been my mentor ever since. So for years. And I met all the other ladies through her, and so they really introduced me to all the bougie restaurants, and Hilaire, very bougie. So yeah, they showed me what's possible.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, so they're sweet.
I think that's nice. You have multiple ones too.
Oh yeah. It's like they're like my best friends. Now they're like my best friends. Oh. And it don't matter that they're 90. No, I'm kidding. They're not 90.
80. I often find too that like mentor, I always wanted a mentor growing up, and I have mentor figures now, but they're more for me a la carte. So I have my mentor for like more career stuff, my mentor for like the business and like different things like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like to me, it's been a fiction to have one person that can fulfill all that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also for dating too. That's a longer story.
Dating, oh my god.
We mentioned doubt a couple times. Are you in scenes with Laverne?
I had one scene with her, but I more so co-star with Julie Hill. She's a great actor. And yeah, so I didn't really get to work with her much. Yeah. Okay. But I was like, when I went to the table read, she walked in. And she was just glorious, she was just the star, you know what I mean? And so it was great to see another Black trans woman really paving the way. I mean, as she's already been doing. So I was like, yes.
And for people in the audience to be like watching this when it comes out, the episode, and seeing more than one on screen.
Oh yeah, I think there's even more. I think like Angelica Ross and Jen Richards, I think they're also on the show as well. Like, and they play her friends, and so
wow,
yeah, CBS is really like the show. I'm waiting on them to give me my own show, or I'm just saying.
We'll call them after this.
Let's give them a call. But they've been so great to me, and I've been on 2 shows now with them. So
amazing,
really great.
Yeah, you not to spill the tea, but before we were recorded this, you mentioned you're going to the studio after this.
I am going to the studio.
Are you able to tell us about that?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I sing, honey. I'm trying to win a Grammy one day. No, I'm kidding. But I'm going to the studio today to record a song. I'm going to do like a nice video from a musical. It's going to be so cool, and I just want to sort of do it for fun and put it out, see what people think.
Very cool. You mentioned you sang at Trans Pride. That's how the Transparent team found you?
Yeah, I was trying to be like a singer at first, and then the whole acting thing really like took off, so I was like, I'll put that aside for now.
What kind of music do you sing?
Pop and R&B. I'm like the Black Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. I'm like the female Jason Derulo. I'm like That's sort of my style of music that I like. A little pop with a little bit of soul.
Okay.
You know.
If I asked you to sing something, would you?
Child, you tried it. Oh my gosh, what would I sing? Not warmed up.
You're not. No, you don't have to. But if you wanted to, you mentioned Taylor. Okay.
Taylor Swift.
I don't know. No, you sing. You some videos on YouTube of you singing. What are those songs?
I did. What videos on YouTube?
On your YouTube channel. They're not secret.
Oh, well, I did the song For Good from Wicked. I recorded a cover of that. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Thank you.
Just a little bit, you know. Mama's not warmed up yet.
Do you feel like I pressured you into it?
No.
Good.
I need to be ready for that because, child, when I go on the Wendy show, she's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm such a fan of you. So sing a little bit for us," and I'm gonna have to be able to sing just out. So.
That's a great Wendy impression.
I do the best impressions. I'm sorry. I do the best impressions.
Who else do you do?
I do Viola Davis really well. Okay, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna so embarrass myself right now. Okay, but Viola Davis, she would be like, "What if I ever nurtured, protected, cared for, the loved? What have you? I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna have me here doing interviews and stuff, then I need to know ahead of time what I'm gonna." That is just like how she talks, and it's so cool.
Oh my God, singers are so good with impersonations, really? Like the voices. Yeah, I thought that was it. Yeah.
I grew up imitating Whitney Houston, so it's like, honey, I was bound for greatness because I did grow up imitating her. She's so funny. She was the best, you know.
Oh, that is so funny. Whitney, R.I.P. Did I see too that you opened for you sang with Zara Larsson?
Yes.
Really?
In Pittsburgh. It was for the Pride March Equality. They had a big Halloween bash music festival.
That's awesome.
And yes. And they asked me to come open for her. The best.
Do you sing covers always, or do you write your own music?
I usually sing covers because, you know, I haven't really been able to really invest into the music as much because, you know, acting has really been so lucrative for me right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like doing the covers too because people know the songs. I try to choose songs that are inspiring and that make people feel good. And yeah, it's like, so I like when I can go and the audience knows the song and they can sing with me.
In case you forget the words.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Right. No, I'm serious. Sometimes I forget the words, child. One time the music cut off when I was singing live. Like, I had the little back playing track and it cut off in the middle of I was singing, "What do you mean?" And it cut off and I was like, but they just started over because, you know, it's the same beat throughout the whole song. So they started over and we winged it. But yeah, it was cool.
That is so funny. So the video, you said you're doing the video for the recording. Anything else coming up you're excited about? We can plug, follow you on Instagram, do all that good stuff.
Yes, please follow me on Instagram, you guys. I mean, hello. Yeah, it's Alexandra Grey Official. That's Grey with an E.
Awesome.
And on Twitter, it's one Alexandra Grey.
When We Rise is coming out. Anything else?
February 28th, you guys.
Oh my God,
you
28th.
have to watch it. Doubt is premiering February 15th, I believe.
Do you know what episode you're on?
I'm on episode 6. It's called Faith.
Faith.
It's so good, you guys. Like, oh my gosh, it's good. You know what I mean? I go in. Mama goes in. Me. No, I'm kidding.
After the Grammy.
Whichever one comes
This has
first.
been so much fun. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Of
I
course.
had so much fun.
Thank you. All of our interviews you can find on iTunes and YouTube. It's LGBTQ&a. And also we mentioned Jen Richards. She'll be here in March. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.